Beau, my man. Bobo, my hero. I heard Mel the other day on the radio.
Did you?
I did. He calls Buck and Kincaid.
Oh, good.
Carpetbagger. Carpetbagger. You know, one of my favorite things when I first started working at 790 before it was taken over by, Lincoln Financial, they had the archive back there, Mike Bell and all those crazy ass producers, Shaggy from the Stews and all those guys over the years, Edgar. They had all the sound bites in all the old interviews back in the war room, and you could go through there and play old sound bites that were 10, 15, whatever years old, and just laugh your ass off. There was a whole section of Mel where they'd gone back and cut it, and I mean, there was one where it was a Christmas one, and he calls up to wish Nick and Chris and Steak a Merry Christmas. And somehow, it talks about them being Jewish and ties that whole thing in there. Yeah. And Nick Cellini says something. He goes, "Hush up, Nick!" He goes, "Hush up!" He goes, "I don't even know how you sleep at night." And he said, "Well, what do you mean, how do I sleep at night?" He was riding Chris Domino's coattail. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Those were the days, Beau.
Yeah, I remember.
Those were the days, man.
We've never really had sports talk here, the way it's supposed to be.
No, I enjoyed it back then. When you guys were on, that was like the Wild West. That was fun.
It was all right. It was all right. I'm just talking about content. There's so much more could have been done. Instead of, doing like this, talking about the front page of the paper. Stop.
Well, I will say that because of the new state, some of these guys are a little bit more prepared than they used to be. I will say that.
New guys, yeah.
No, just there's competition. Some of these new media out there bringing in new blood, and I guess the guys that aren't willing to do the work, they're getting rid of them. So some of the old guys, you can tell they're doing their homework. Well, it's easy to mail it in. It's tough.
Their homework is memorizing names. I mean, what is that?
Right. But it is tough. Like, I often wonder about the guys that do the morning show, right? Like, my friend was a producer on the morning show for years. I've done it a few times. And it's impossible. You and I did it a few times.
We did it for 20 years.
Yeah. But I'm saying you and I did it together a few times. And, how are you... You got to go to bed early to get up and to be there for show meetings at 4 in the morning. So you don't really know.
Well, let me say this. I never went to show meetings. So I'd be there when the bell rang.
Right, and that's how it should be. Because, those extra 2 hours, instead of in a meeting telling people what you're going to talk about.
Don't forget, I was going to
sleeping.
I was going to every game.
And that could be exhausting.
Every game. Nobody does that anymore.
I will say, it's good to be
alive.
It's great to be alive. It's great to be back at the Hawks games where there's the arena's full.
Yeah.
It's fun. We went the other night, and even though they're losing, I was at the game against the Pacers on Saturday, a game that they won. They played really well in. Place was jumping, man. It was awesome. We had a great time.
Oh, when I went last week, it was too. And even when you go in the back room, it was jammed. You could hardly move around.
When we went, I was talking to some guys I played basketball with, and remember, we kind of knew right before we went in the arena that Giannis wasn't going to play. Well, I mean, this was a Friday night, people wanted to see Giannis play. He played the last time they were here. He wasn't hurt. He played the next game. It was a load management deal. They won't come out and say that, but I wonder if Bud was just giving a little FU. But my buddies that went, they were freaking completely bummed. They took their wives. It was like a big deal. And so I get where this whole load management crap can rub some people the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But, the other thing is you got to do it.
You got to do it.
And we happen to be the team that if you're going to do it, you do it against.
That's right. We're not load managing. We're load management.
Yeah, we're
Take a break.
Yeah, we're aides of load management.
Right.
We help.
Yeah, even when we play the Warriors, who have like 6 wins at the time when they come in, Draymond had a bad finger. He had a bad finger. You don't know on those Jets things can happen. You can jam it, get in your luggage.
Hey, Alfonso leans back, your hands in the Come on.
Yeah, Alfonso Leans.
It's a dangerous world.
It's a dangerous world. But no, they were pissed about that. And it's like, I'm going out of town, by the way. I'm going to Disney with Emmy Lou for her 5th birthday. So I'm going to be out for a week. Going to miss a couple shows.
When is that?
The 20th through the 25th. That's all right. I got some people I've spoken to. They're going to come in. They're going to fill my shoes, which shouldn't be hard to do. You've told me over the years that I could be replaced just like that.
Well, I could go through the phone book and get one.
This guy doesn't speak English. He'll be great.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
He'll be great. So anyway, I've got to sell my tickets while I'm gone. Mm-hmm. But the ticket value, it's the Clippers and the Raptors, 2 really good games.
Good.
And I would think that the resale would be good. But it's not, because people have the expectation that Kawhi's not going to play, especially the Clippers. Mm-hmm. I mean, they haven't played any of their stars against good players all year.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it sucks. It's screwing up everything, but you got to do it.
Well, I don't know how they're going to stop them.
I don't know. David Stern won't be stopping them. That's crazy how that happened.
Too bad.
It was quick. I know. I hated that.
He was one of the good ones.
That's what I hear. I've never heard anybody say it, and he was tough.
Yeah, no, he didn't get all antsy and crazy and nutty. He would say, "Here's what it is," and he would make that proclamation, and everybody would abide by it.
It was funny. They did a tribute to him on TNT the night he passed, or their first show afterwards, and they went around. They all shared stories or whatever, and Barkley went last, and they were all telling these great stories over the years of how he helped them and how he meant so much and whatever. And Barkley goes, "Well, we had a different relationship." Because he was always in trouble.
Right, yeah.
And he said, he was like just always on me, man. Whenever I would get a call, whenever I get something from my agent, he just really wanted me to do good. And now looking back on it, he wanted what was best for me.
Right.
But it was just, Barkley. It was just,
Right,
it was perfect. But I hate to see that. That went fast. 77's young.
Yeah.
It's very young.
Yeah, it is.
I hope I go longer than 77.
Well,
what
you
do
know
think?
what? I'm thinking, so what am I going to look like in 20 years?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You look good.
And I'm going to be right there with David, 77.
Be right there. You're going to be a paratrooper going into Iran. How about your boy?
You're very good today.
I am very good today. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about today.
Well, start.
I want to know what Jake Fromm is waiting on. Because Tua announced yesterday he's going pro. That's one more guy that's going to be in front of him. What's he waiting on?
They may be waiting for a time when it's most opportune, in terms of the team. And, I don't know, because there's no other
Is it a
real
recruiting
reason.
thing? Is there some quarterback, maybe a graduate transfer that they're trying to get on? And if they think Jake is not coming back, I don't know. I would think out of the graduate transfers, as loaded as Georgia is, you would be able to take your pick at any one that you want. Because you're not going to start a true freshman with that team that you got coming back, I can't think.
Right. No, I don't know what they're waiting for. I wish I had that answer for you.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear.
I don't know either.
Maybe we'll hear something today.
Why today?
Because Tua announced yesterday. Like I said, I can't imagine that there's anything else that he. Think about the draft, right? Like the teams that are going to be picking towards the back 10 picks, let's say. I mean, 90% of them don't need quarterbacks. Maybe there's one team. Maybe it's the Chargers, the Patriots. Who knows?
Chargers are looking for a quarterback.
Right. So either one. But I mean, he's not going to go in the top 20 of the draft. I don't think. And maybe that's what he's trying to determine right now. If somebody's going to take him.
I think what he's trying to determine is, can he reach the top 20 if he comes back next year? I think he can.
I think he can. Yeah, I agree. A year of Pickens.
I mean, what do you have, 3 games this year when he threw less than 50%?
And he's going to have big-time exposure next year. They've not that Georgia doesn't anyway, but, I mean, they play Alabama, Florida, SEC championships. I mean, they're going to be a preseason top 5 team for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, I expect something to come back.
That's the story right there. That's the story, is that Georgia is a top 5 team every single year, is where it always should have been.
Do you know what somebody said this morning on the radio? I couldn't believe this. They said, all these recruiting classes and blah, 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 blah. He said, if Jake Fromm comes back next year and Georgia does anything short of winning a national championship, then you got to start looking at Kirby. And I'm thinking
oh, my God. Wait, what's this guy been living in a hole?
Well, he's from the north. They don't know.
Oh, no.
They don't know.
Stupid.
They don't know. But anyway,
for God's sakes, the most frustrating program in the world for half a century has been Georgia.
Right.
It's always Georgia. This is Georgia. It's always been like this.
And now you got a guy
Except
who's bringing in the best athletes in the country,
who's going for it.
winning 3 consecutive
Who's
SEC
going for it? Who's not going for
championships.
statues.
Just beat Georgia Tech by 60, right? Hasn't lost to Florida. So, yeah, I mean, that's just an asinine comment to make. It's like these same people with the Hawks, right? That want us to trade our future, Reddish and, some of these other guys for this Andre Drummond guy. I don't get it.
That goes nowhere.
Well, here's the deal.
Does anybody see what we're doing?
Right.
The Hawks are right on time. We may be a little bit behind right now, but that's
We've had injuries, suspensions. Herter and Herter, who by the way is playing fantastic right now. Herter, Young, and Collins have been on the floor at the same time, 81 minutes this entire season.
Wow.
You can't judge the team on this. You can't judge the coach on their win and loss record right now. You can't. It's not fair.
Right. No, I mean, just look at what they're doing, where they came from, how they're doing, how they're, they go about their business. And you have to say Lloyd Pierce is doing a hell of a job.
Right.
I like the guy.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
may not be a finisher. We don't know that yet.
But don't you think those are I would rather have a guy that instills the things that he has, where the players respect him. He fights for his players.
Right.
His players get better. So as they mature, and we've got a young team. These are all things. But as far as his game time management, if he's going to be short in any of them, that's the one I want him to be short in, because you can get better in that. Those other things, I think those are things you're born with.
Innate.
Right.
You either have them or you don't.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. No, I like the heck out of the guy, and I like the heck out of where the Hawks are going. In fact, I wrote about it today.
Oh,
And-
I read it.
Come on.
I read it. And Kirby's the same deal. That's where I'm going. Like, people are right to him to say that comment this morning about Kirby, and then for a lot of these people, these Hawks fans on these fan boards, to fire the coach. It's like, are you really not paying attention?
No, that drives me insane. I always think, like, we're about the only town where that could happen, where those type of comments are written or you hear.
Right.
Or I would say see on TV, but TV does nothing.
The
Local
one that-
TV does nothing.
The coaching thing that doesn't make the sense, that's an interesting situation, is Snicker. Because, the sample size is so small for him in the playoffs. He's overachieved in the regular season every year. The guys love him, right? They freaking love the guy. But if they do the same song and dance again this year, I don't think they keep him around.
Well,
I think he's got to win a playoff series.
I don't get that feeling.
You think they're going to keep him
time.
around?
You know what? It's time. I mean, we're right on schedule. And if Donaldson signs with us,
$112 million for 4 years.
we're not going to pay that. But if someone's going to pay that, God bless him.
Minnesota. You imagine
If I'm him, I don't want to do that.
$112 million
Yeah, that's
for
true. I
4
want to do
years.
that. I want to do that.
You want to do that?
I want to do that.
That goes a long way in Canada
Yeah.
too. There's a lot of lakes up there,
Oh, yeah.
and he's
Hey, he's trying to get into fly fishing.
Isn't that more of a stream thing?
Yeah.
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 But I guess you connect the lakes with
Well,
streams.
they gotta come off one another. It's a tributary. It's something that you evolve into. You begin with lakes.
Tributary. It goes all the way down the Great
Fly
Mississippi.
fishing. At some point, you may even jump off and do a little surf casting.
I don't know about that.
You talk about landing sharks on the surf.
He's
We
jumping,
used to
jumping up.
catch all these sand sharks.
Right.
Were ominous little characters, And then I had the bright idea. It's like, it's all white meat. Let's cook them. Let's eat shark. It was like eating leather.
But you didn't get sick though.
Didn't get sick.
Well, that's good.
Didn't get sick, no.
Well, that's good.
But
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know
it
if I
looked
would
like
just start-
such great meat.
Sure.
Shark meat.
Sure. Who doesn't want to just take a bite out of that?
Wow.
No, but I mean, but here's the thing with I see with this offer with Donaldson is they know they got the Braves by the short and curlies. They got us. He fits such a need for this club, and we don't have a backup plan. And if
What's that got to do with Minnesota?
they're the only other team that's in it. Washington's
Yeah, I know,
out,
but
LA's out.
Yeah, but right now they're winning the competition because they've given him 4 years.
Right. Well, everybody's giving him 4 years, but once it gets up to this 112 whatever, everybody's kind of bowing out. You're down to 20% on your phone, by the way.
Should I go in the back and flagellate myself?
Yes.
Why would you tell me something
Well,
like that?
because when your phone dies, the show's over.
I understand
So
that.
I'm letting you know that if you have something important to
that.
get off your chest,
Well,
you need to come with it.
You know, for the first time in your life, you arrived early today.
Threw you for a loop.
It threw everything off. Threw everything off.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way Brady and Belichick and that whole New England thing is trying to unravel, isn't it? Or
Right.
the way everybody's trying to make it unravel.
Right. I think he's back, and I think Gronk comes out of retirement.
I mean, I'm reading something by Bradley today, and he's just, talking about what a rotten franchise they are, and they did this and they did that. I wish we were them.
Right.
I admire these guys.
That was awesome, though, with Vrabel doing the same thing to him, in the playoff game the other day.
What did he do?
Well, that whole deal where you can do a false start, run the play clock all the way down to 1 second, create a false start, then it's a penalty, and then the clock goes back, and you get another 40 seconds. So you basically can run 79 seconds off the play without burning a timeout.
Right.
And so Belichick did it earlier in the year, and everybody said, he's like, pounding his chest, whatever. Well, Vrabel just did it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No.
He's on the sideline just MFing everybody. F you, F them.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Belichick?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, because he was so mad that Vrabel did it to him. It was unbelievable. That had to feel good.
I don't know how I missed that.
Oh, yeah, I'll show it to you when we're done.
That would have been great.
I'd show you on your phone, but you only got 12%, so.
I
Man, that thing
lost
goes
8%.
fast. Oh, my
I lost
goodness.
8% in 2 minutes.
Let me tell you what you're working with here, buddy. Oh, no. I think I just messed the whole thing up. I did, so can't touch this. There we go.
You're a regular DeMille.
So what do you think of the playoff games this week? We got some good ones. I was glad to see the Saints lose. Vikings at the 49ers.
You know what I see? I see teams, and look at all these teams. We cannot play in that league.
We cannot. Maybe with the Eagles.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe with the
But
Eagles.
we can't play in that
Even
league.
though we beat the
Just from
Saints
a
and the
physicality
49ers.
point. Do you see the difference in intensity between one of our games and these games?
Did you see the last half of the season? We came with the Thunder, baby.
Oh, stop. Stop.
The Brotherhood is back. I wish you would just believe me.
I think the Brotherhood's going away for some reason. No, it's not? I thought it was dwindling out.
It's stronger than ever.
I thought he wanted to go like from Brotherhood to Commonwealth. I mean, what's next?
Commonwealth would be good.
Hey, you don't fool with the Commonwealth.
Guys showing up on buggies.
Well, we can use you.
Oh, man. But yeah, 49ers, Vikings. And then you've got Seahawks at the Packers. Mm-hmm. And then the AFC, Houston. By the way, what a comeback against Buffalo.
Oh,
They're on the road. They're taking on Houston and Kansas City. And Baltimore's at home against Tennessee. Tennessee knocked off New England.
Deshaun Watson, you'll say, I can beat this guy, and all of a sudden he'll break your heart.
Yeah.
Do something.
10%.
You know what? For the viewer, our brotherhood out there.
Yeah.
All right. You ruin everything for them.
No, it's for the Commonwealth. Do it for the Commonwealth.
If you want to play for the Commonwealth, stop saying we got 8 minutes to go.
All right, you got 8%. Go. I wish we had 8 minutes. 8 minutes would be like, what, 70%?
Hey, the Dogs beating Memphis the other day was great, huh?
Yeah, your boy Tom Crean. He was very tan. He's very nicely dressed. He's been working out. He looks great.
He drives me
Did
crazy.
he get a divorce?
I don't know.
No?
She was there.
She was there.
Yeah. That's
Maybe he's just doing a reset. Is Mark Rick's sister-in-law? Or
no,
Jim
no.
Harbaugh's sister.
Jim Harbaugh. Yeah. And also John Harbaugh. But he used to be on his side. He's always moving. You gotta watch guys like that. Look at me, everybody. Look at me.
He's coaching.
And he was like, always going like this because his gold bracelets would come down too far on his hand.
Yeah.
You have to, you know.
I've never noticed you with a gold bracelet.
No, I've never had one.
I've never noticed you.
I've never had one.
You look good with one, though. Maybe a chain, a cross. It's always here.
I'm thinking of a chain. There's no doubt.
But yeah, so Georgia looked great. Big win. They got Kentucky tonight, 9 o'clock ESPN. That'll be a big test. The Stegosaurus will probably be packed. I look for Anthony Edwards to have a big game. He hasn't played well the first couple days. He's familiar with a lot of these Kentucky kids because they came up the AAU circuit, you know, McDonald's All-American. So I expect him to have a huge game tonight.
It's great when you get guys like that, and there is, you know, they cross paths with other stars. So that makes for great competition.
For sure.
You know, it's super stuff.
Yeah, and then you got Georgia Tech beat Carolina the other night like a drum, like the second time in 25 years up there in Chapel Hill. And then they've got Duke here in Midtown tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. When is Georgia and Tech?
They played Thanksgiving, you
I remember that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought they were playing this week for some reason.
Maybe it's women's hoops. I know you're dialed in to the female buckets.
You know what? Probably is.
Hey, Clemson LSU, we got that coming up on Saturday. We'll talk more about that on our program on Friday because we have 1%, so we got to go.
We'll see everybody. I apologize.
Don't apologize. No, I thought I did good.
I'm apologizing.
Hey, I need you to follow me somewhere.
Oh.